sooner or later, he sees you. Not just who you are, but who you wish to be. He makes you believe that his power has become yours. Irresistible power.
Do you really believe what he wanted above all things was children?
No, it's...
That's what he said.
Yeah, and then he decided to march an army full of his children away from their home, where they are the most protected, and put them in harm's way again. And
God.
like, you can't tell me like, oh, you gotta feel bad for orcs. Look at this orc family, and then just like their leader just marches them off to war. Like, this is... Who does he think he is? The American president?
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
Politics.
Not the orc industrial complex over there.
Halliburton, let's go! Let's go!
Right?
I do have to give the actor who's playing Adar his just desserts. He's doing a great job.
There's oil in a Region.
Shut up! You know what? I didn't realize just how big a Region is.
That I think is a big like main complaint of everybody is that especially like Khazad-dûm I think has done at least a better job of it.
Even this episode, we kind of saw we get these sweeping shots of like the city.
Yeah, but like
and,
every city is like 25 people that gather for one announcement and then leave. Like that's it.
15 people. There was in our Discord. 15 people go to see the sea snake. Judgment.
Right? Like, okay, I'm just saying, if I'm back in the day and I don't have, the internet or television, and you tell me that a giant sea serpent is going to judge somebody and either eat them or spit them back out, I mean...
I'm setting up a stand of kettle corn.
I'm getting there early. I'm getting a good seat.
It's the Rose Bowl.
Now, like, I'll be honest. I don't know if I could go to, like, the Coliseum and see, like, people just murder each other. It was a different time. I understand that.
It really was.
But
you would have gone.
I could see a big sea snake eat somebody.
The king or queen or Elendil, people who are maybe to blame for my son or family dying.
And also, like, I'm not getting treason vibes over here, because if you don't show up for that, you're getting the whispers like, oh, you see, Ben wasn't there for the giant sea snake. I've heard he's got a giant sea snake though. But how do you not show up for this? This is...
He's got a giant...
How do you not show up for this? This is crazy.
It's wild. Thank you.
Is it the same? Like, did they get the same extras that were shouting Farazan? Now they're shouting Miriel. Like, come on. Like,
it's wild. It's wild. It's so wild. Megalo Blazemon, who's also a follower of ours, commented that everything in Numenor, it looks like it's AI generated.
And it sucks because they did shoot on location here. They did shoot.
And it was gorgeous.
It looked so good.
The sea looked gorgeous. It really did.
But it goes back, I was listening to, when I was driving back and forth from my parents' house, I listened to our last episode, and where it's just like, I don't see the grandeur of the greatest race of men and the city with, indoor plumbing that Isildur's bragging about to all the Southlanders and, the heirs of, or like the predecessors of Aragorn. Like, Aragorn would still stand out in this world. Like,
I'm telling you though, and we're going to get into it when we get a little more specific scene by scene. Elendil, I even looked, is bringing Aragorn. He really is. Him. Isildur, I don't know what you can do in the next 17 years that it takes to film 3 more seasons to make him any Aragorn. And maybe he's not, maybe Isildur isn't like as Aragorn-y as Elendil is or needs to be. He is killing it. When he's in the hall against Wormtongue Jr., he's killing it.
But what I don't want, and I mean, I don't want to speculate for, season 4 stuff that's going to happen in, 8 years or whatever. I don't want there to be like warning signs of who Isildur really was. It's just like, no, Isildur's like a pretty good guy.
He is a good guy that got tempted.
Yeah. Like that's all there is. I don't need like this, revisionist history of like, no, we knew. We should have known, man.
So right.
And we're going to get it. And that's like something I'm just really not looking forward to from this show.
Because it would be so, honestly, Ben, if they don't, I have a feeling they may not, because it will be so much more of a betrayal if he's so good, if he wants to kill Sauron and he knows about the ring or whatever, and he's so overtaken by it that he can't stop himself. Maybe. Let's just say, like, you're so right. It's hard to speculate 17 years from now.
Yeah.
But let's just hope they really set him up to actually be a really good guy that we believe to be a good guy. Because right now we're watching him on his toddling stages. You know what I mean? Like going, oh, I've never been stabbed before. What do I do? So anyway, he was not to be seen in this episode. I am just going to say all over, just like in general, I thought this was a good episode.
I thought it was a good episode. I definitely have my gripes and criticisms with it. But overall, this is another good episode. This season desperately needs 10 episodes. Like,
That's
the fact that we only have
say.
2 left. The fact that we only have 2 left is my biggest criticism, where I think everything is falling into place very nicely. Yes, things are very rushed in certain aspects, especially with Durin the Elder.
Insane.
And that's where just like, I don't know why they decided on 8 episode seasons when you have to, just like, I know you're not doing the Silmarillion, but you have to know that you're doing thousands of years of history in 8 episodes or in 5 seasons, or at least like hundreds of episodes per season or hundreds of years per season. So I don't know why we went with 8, and maybe they'll switch to 10. I doubt it.
I doubt it at this point.
It just seems like it's so weird because, last season we were talking about like, oh, this seems like they stretch for time, and now we're just like begging for that extra time.
It's really true. It is hurting the dwarf plot. It really is. I don't think we need much more of what's going on with the stranger. I think we're getting just enough. Maybe you can get some
Nori's
more.
like not even in this season. It's crazy.
I know, but I'm really okay with it. Like, we're getting just enough of them. These what are these people? They're not the stores. Are they the stores?
They're the stores.
Okay, I'm just confused because there's the hobbits, the stewards, the blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They're interesting. I like them, but even speed running the relationship with Poppy and nobody.
Crazy.
Why is she kissing him within a day?
Within a day.
A day.
Like I like the moon eyes they gave each other last time we saw them. That was nice. I didn't realize like that they were just gonna go for it. I mean,
they're gonna have children now.
Hey, shout out to them.
Good for. I guess you when you know. When you're
when
you're
on the brink of death, maybe
I guess that's the thing you're supposed to buy. Anyway, you want to just jump into this like Muriel did, or do you got anything else to say?
No, and I mean let's start. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the stranger and Nori and get that done?
I guess so. That makes a lot of sense. The least interesting part of the whole series.
So we'll start with Nori, and basically, I do love this part where it's just like the Gunt is just like, why do you guys keep moving? That's stupid. Stop doing that.
Yeah, because even Nori was judging them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I like the, I was married under this tree. My husband's buried under this tree. I'll be buried under this tree. And there's things worth fighting for. And I like that. It's very Samwise Gamgee. Like it's coming out. This right there, this Gunt speech, and I just thought of it. This is how you pay respects or homage to other works without directly citing them in a really stupid and out of context way.
I don't know what you're talking about, or
I don't know. It's really just at a just randomly. I don't know why I brought that up.
I don't know why you're bringing that. Yeah, it's not like even relevant to like this very original piece of work that doesn't lift anything from
not at all.
Cool,
sorry,
sick.
I didn't mean to. We never go on tangents. So
Totally derailed the show.
But yeah, I do like this conversation where Nori thinks she's like Nori is a very mature and smart Harfoot, but she doesn't have it all figured out. And I like this conversation. And this is one thing that I could have used more of the Harfoots of like, hey, how did these two fall in love? Because I like Poppy. We spent all last season being like, Poppy better be in season 2. I want my Frodo and my Sam. Like, and then, I don't know, this feels like they listened to the wrong side of the fandom and saying like the Harfoots are the worst part and all these stuff. Like, granted,
we were saying that
the Harfoots are. Nori and Poppy were good.
That's right.
Nori and Poppy were good. The Harfoots were just assholes. Like,
so true. When Poppy's like, you have to. This is not just for them. This affects all of us and your parents. Let them fucking die, bro. Let them go roast in a fire.
Yeah, like it's like that guy on TikTok that does the job stuff. He's like, I've been here so long, I feel like I could die. So die.
Oh, that guy is funny.
Yeah,
he looks so weird without his mustache.
He is locked into that mustache for life. I'm sorry, man. Like,
because he did a couple TikToks before, and then he locked in on his IKEA joke, which is with the I don't know what Dr. Dre song it is or whatever. I know everyone's screaming.
Oh yeah, the dramatic music. Yeah,
dude, it's so good. But then I saw him with it. I was like, oh, this guy's really great. And then looked at his old TikToks, and I felt really bad for him.
No, some people are meant to have facial hair, and he is one of those people.
He ended up getting a role in Cocaine Bear.
I saw that. He was the best part.
Was he? I didn't watch it.
Well, he had like the part with he's like a paramedic that shows up because of a call. Right. That part was what I expected Cocaine Bear to be. The rest of the movie was really boring, but like his little vignette where the paramedics are like getting torn up and the bear's chasing the ambulance and stuff. That's what I expected that movie to be. The rest of it was insanely boring and stupid.
Oh, that's too bad. Because, yeah, they should... Oh, anyway. Well, next episode, we'll talk about Cocaine Bear. Good for that guy. He played the TikTok game well. Yes, I think that they listened to our episodes, and they're like, oh, Ben and Jess didn't like the Harfoots. But we should have said we liked Nori and Poppy. But they brought, we can forgive how they brought Poppy back into the fold. It's really weird that she was following them for fucking 6 months and now here she is, Some people thought we were going to get a gay relationship and thought it was going to be Nori and Poppy. How do you feel about that?
I think it goes along with the same thing of like people wanted a gay relationship with Frodo and Sam. And I don't want to say like I'm not fine with like, oh, ship this, ship that, but just like, I don't know. Like I think I said it when we were talking about it, where platonic friendship exists and matters. Yeah, like they're just as strong. They're forged in the fire, literally. And so there's plenty of like, my favorite anime. I've talked about it before, Jujutsu Kaisen. Like people ship Gojo and Geto, and anyone that's listening to this knows exactly who I'm talking about. And I'm fine with that one, because that was the one where I was like, oh, they hadn't seen each other, and the guy comes in, he's been here. And it's like, okay.
Fucking insane.
Let's talk about this a little bit.
Fucking insane. I smell his balls.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And so there's stuff like that, and I'm fine with that, but just like with Frodo and Sam, it's like, no, they're good friends. He was best man at his wedding. Like, I don't know. I kind of put Poppy and Nori into that one too, where it's like platonic friendships are good, and that's where they are, and that's kind of why I wish that Poppy's romance would have gotten a little more screen time, because I'm a romance guy. We lost Bronwyn and Arondir. I need something besides toxic people shipping Halbrand and Galadriel. Stop it. Stop. You're weird.
So, and you guys, and we'll talk about this a little more when we get into the Eregion stuff, but today on the TikTok feed, I saw a couple of fan arts between Natar and Celebrimbor. And you know what? Maybe 2 episodes I would have wanted that, and now I don't, because it's so sad. But, like, I get it up until a certain point, and I shipped it before we started this season. And you know what? I can understand why the lore fiends are like, what's wrong with you? Because what happens? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I understand now. I was just living in the moment, friends. That's all I was doing.
Fair.
Now that we're in a different moment, I'm upset. I don't want to see it. But speaking of losing Arondir's and Bronwyn's love, when we see Arondir running later on and getting attacked by orcs, Bear McCreary, I told you we weren't going to hear their love theme anymore, but he reused it as like his triumphant and epic, like urgent theme. And it was so awesome because, like, he's just fighting for love and goodness, even if he doesn't have it. And it...
Bro is like going full Liam Neeson right now. He's not messing around. His loved one has been taken, and he's just like killing everybody in his way.
And it's such a good use of that love theme. You're totally right. We are missing romance. We are missing what we're supposed to be fighting for and against,
Yeah, like we got some good... It's still like this unrequited love, and I think it's going to stay that way with Muriel and Elendil.
I think they're full-blown in it.
They haven't kissed. You got, like... I'm sorry.
She touches his chest like a whole different thing.
Sign on that dotted line, baby.
All right. Let's just pause there for a second because we have to get back to that. One of the things that we get some more Tom Bombadillo, and the stranger.
This is straight out of Empire Strikes Back. This is
way? Oh, you mean Yoda stuff?
Yes. Like the fact that the stranger has this vision of Nori and Poppy dying, like in all the Eye of Sauron and all these things and rocks falling and then he's like, oh, my friends, they're in danger. I literally just watched Empire Strikes Back like 3 weeks ago. This is literally Luke hearing Han and Leia fighting Darth Vader on Cloud City. Like, what Soldier Boy say? Word for word, bar for bar.
Jesus Christ. That is such a good pull. Yeah. Because then Tom Bombadillo sends him on this quest of the dead tree graveyard to go find a Gand.
And I like when he's getting dressed where he's like, oh, well, you follow old Tom. That's good Tom Bombadil right
totally.
there. That's good stuff.
I also don't have major criticisms with Tom. I actually I think you got me on the tip of, like, I think you got me on the side of, like, okay, Tom's here to help Gandalf. That's cool.
Yeah.
And I love that he disappeared. And I think it makes sense that he is set on a course where he has to choose. Are you going to just help one person right now? Or are you going to go find out the best way you can help everyone to the best of your ability? And by not choosing Nori, which we're going to assume he's not choosing Nori, he's allowing them to fight for themselves and prove their own worth. What?
I think he's going to choose Nori. I think it's like kind of like a false...
Do you think so?
I think it's like kind of like a false choice where he's like... He's going to choose...
He's saying, look at this
to save his friend. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, because, I will say this. It seemed really dumb that there was just a lot of branches in a
lot of branches there.
Yeah. And I think he's going to find his his staff by choosing Nori. All right. The tree. The
tree.
Goon's tree.
The Goon tree.
That's what it's going to be. I called it now.
I like it. I predicted it. And the only other thing I'll say about this is that stop using lines from Lord of the Rings or the book. I saw that in the comments. I got in trouble for saying that the dig deep earth thing was from the movie and not from Tom Bombadil.
You just got corrected.
I mean, it's not corrected. It's in the movie.
Okay.
It is in the movie.
Okay.
I'm right.
Oh, okay.
I realized that Tom Bombadil obviously said it in 1940 when the book was written.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Sorry, it was on TikTok first. You fake fans.
Then die.
But the only like many that deserve life get death, and many that deserve death live. Who are you to do that?
It's just egregious.
It's so bad. Stop doing it.
Well, and then Forbes comes out with the fucking article going, here's my theory as to why the stranger is a blue wizard. Get off my nuts, bro. It's insane. Like, listen, I'm so glad that you guys have theories that it might not be Gandalf. And if that is fun for you, good for you. Don't make me click on a fucking... Forbes is losing it with me right now. I know we're not supposed to go to Forbes for...
Keep going. Go harder.
Why would I go to Forbes for my Lord of the Rings reviews and theories? I don't know. That person needs to go to Screen... Oh, I think it was a Screen Rant article,
that
actually.
sounds more like Screen Rant.
Then, you know what? Stop it. Have more integrity.
Have you looked at Screen Rant in the last 10 years?
I don't. I just thought the name was great.
Screen Rant?
It's literally rant, though. I realize the error of my ways.
Okay. I don't want to put the blame on the reader and not the person putting out the article, but I'm going to put it on you because...
Consider the source.
Yeah, consider the source.
No, it just showed up. It showed up in, like, my suggested... I didn't read it. I just thought it was so dumb that this is the clickbait title. Like...
It literally is?
It's so... because I think I cover the Orville on one of my other shows. Mm. And... every other week, there's a new article going, will there actually be a season 4? Stop. Let it go. You don't need to write about the Orville until we know. Shut up. So anyway, just the whole world about that media it makes someone click.
Yeah. And you shared it.
I did it on purpose.
Oh, got it.
I was trying to get the other people.
Jessica's playing the double reverse fake of sharing a clickbait link so you don't click on it.
Sooner or later, he sees you, not just who you are, but who you wish to be.
Screen Rant.
We'll take a job, though.
Yeah, we'll take a job. I can write 15 articles about nothing a day.
Yeah, ChatGPT. Let's go. So anyway, it's just so plainly obvious that it's Gandalf. It's kind of fun to still not know, kind of see how he chooses. I think you're totally right. He will choose Nori. I didn't think about that. I think that's a really cool...
No, but I didn't have the Goont tree branch. That's a good one. I like that theory a lot. So I think you're right about that one, is he's going to come back and still not be able to control his powers against the Jawas. And then he's going to break off a piece of that Goont cat bar and then it's on.
The tree's gonna crash is what's gonna happen. So they're gonna accidentally destroy the tree, and then there's gonna be the staff.
Gotcha.
That's what it's going to be. So he's not gonna be like, "Ka, ka, ka," and he's gonna go like, "Can I please have this branch?" or something. He's gonna do the right thing this time.
I like it. I
like it too. So that kind of puts to rest the Empire Strikes Back part of the episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just because I'm liking Daniel Wayman so much this season.
Yeah.
Because he can talk. And then, obviously, I like Roy Kinnear as Tom Bombadil. Kieran Hines is one of my favorite character actors, a favorite villain actor.
What else has he done?
He was Steppenwolf in the DC movies. He's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, I don't recognize him.
He's going to be in Game of Thrones in later seasons. I don't want to spoil who he's going to be, but he's a great character in Game of Thrones. So he's just done a bunch of stuff, and I just it's always nice to see. He's just one of those actors that you're like, oh, I like him. We're in good hands.
Got it. That's good, because they did cast a lot of quote-unquote relative unknowns to the world of TV. But it's smart that they cast someone that we can at least rely on to do a good job, because he is doing a good job. This is not an easy role to take up.
No.
Not an easy mantle. I think now is good time to talk about Numenor.
Yeah, I think so.
Shit just is Farazan is out of his goddamn mind. Out of his goddamn mind. And I knew he was going to look into the Palantir. Of course he was going to.
I feel like he has before this moment. Do you think?
Yeah, we're just seeing it now. But he basically commandeered it at the, scepterizing whatever when the eagle showed up.
The eagle show, yeah.
The eagle show. It was like a dramatic, the audience knew he was going to use it. We just hadn't seen it yet, and we didn't know what he saw. or what he was seeing. The Grima Wormtongue dude who you were talking about, like we were going to get some political scheming.
Balzagar.
He is really, maybe that's the gay relationship they're hinting at, because he really wants to be the first man or...
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's literally just like, do you ever see Coneheads with Dave?
Just years and years and years ago.
Like
David Spade and...
Yeah, exactly. The David Spade character where he's just like,
you brought this up before.
Let me take that. He's having a tough day. And then he's just a suck up. He's a Jared Kushner. He's just trying to get at the power titty. That's all he, like, I think he would be gay if it would help his career.
That's all I'm saying. He's giving, like, I almost sucked dick for water for the fire festival, dude. Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. For sure.
Because he is feverish.
Remember Fire Festival? Remember when that happened?
That guy is on the sucking dick guy is on a reality TV show right now, and
Good
he's
for
like,
him.
I'm that guy. Remember? Because that was my one hit wonder.
Good for him.
No, I know.
15 minutes, baby. Gotta live it up. Yeah,
that's me sucking it, but not through a straw, but not a dick. And I realize for those listening, I needed to clarify. I may cut that, probably won't, but should. He's just like out of his mind, and Arian is Brad Grens did this. Karenian.
I'm not cutting any of this.
Why would I?
Why would you?
Karanian? Karian.
That just sounds like a Lord of the Rings name. It doesn't sound like Karen.
Carrion. Something like... He had it, and I can't remember it.
Okay.
But she's just, like, really trying... She's in so I told you so mode. She really is. You totally got it. But it's, like, a bridge too far, Ben. Like... It's almost unbelievable at this point.
No, honestly, it works for me because that's the state of everything right now. Is that people, when they're in the wrong, they don't think they're wrong anymore. It does not matter what facts are being put in their face about things. Like, I don't even need to bring up, like, current day politics, because I honestly don't even think that's what they're doing. I don't think they're doing any kind of allegory or anything. I think they're just like, this is just how it is now.
Well, it's also how people are, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was raised by that kind of person that you dug into the ground as opposed to go, oh, I was wrong. So you're totally right. Maybe it's just that I'm so enlightened that it's really hard for me to understand people's poor motivations.
Can you do her nickname again? Because I think that's how enlightened everybody needs to be right now. Carry on? Sign up to our Patreon so Jessica can tell you her name. No, but, like...
Fuck you!
Oh my god, I was listening to a podcast on my drive home, and I need podcasters. I'm no expert, obviously. Like, we appreciate every single one of our listeners, but, like, we're not any, like, popular podcaster show or anything. But what I need podcasters to stop doing is acting like I'm in the fucking room with you, listening to you. You're on a microphone. I'm going 75 miles down the highway. I need you to stop being like, yeah, you know, it's just like, it's going. Yeah, you know, I was talking with Brad Payne, just like, we just doing this? Just talking like this? Stop trailing off on your sentences. Stop whispering like I'm in the room and we're just like having a conversation over dinner.
What the fuck?
Talking to your microphone and enunciate.
Perform.
It's a performance.
It really is. And listen, Ben and I genuinely like each other. We are we're no pretense, but we also are very aware that a camera's on.
Yes.
I may not be that aware with how loud my mic gets.
Yeah.
But I still am aware. That's wild. Maybe it's like ASMR, like, hey, yeah.
No, they're talking about movies. Like,
why?
I don't know.
It
It happened so many times on my drive home in this one show, and I was just like, "What are you doing?"
Name the show. Name the show. Name the show.
Don't do it. Okay.
Don't do it.
But yeah, it was incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, but
yeah,
you can hear at 70
just advice,
miles.
You are not in the room. As much as we want to pretend like, oh, we're just having a casual conversation with our friends. No, you're on a show.
Yeah,
you're a produced production, if you will.
And you know what's nice? Like, something to think about too. Like, I love it when people are like, I wish I was in the room so I could tell you guys like what I was thinking or whatever. You guys kind of are, though. When you share your comments, like, I still have those things in the back of my head. Like, oh, I wonder what this person's going to say to that. So, like, you are part of the conversation. You just can't yell at us in real time.
Yeah.
So Elendil is basically doing exactly what Muriel told him not to do.
Yeah. He's going real Ned Stark right here.
Yeah. Although it still works for me more.
And this is the difference between Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, is that you are... But the thing is, when you watch the first time of Game of Thrones, you're like, yeah, Ned Stark. I grew up with soldiers. I learned how to die a long time ago. That's a great speech, Ned, but you have a family to worry about. Sorry, letting you know. But no, it works. Elendil is everything that we've read about and everything that Aragorn claimed to be when we met him. And I love it. It works so well. And then his talk with Karen.
I have to look up Discord. I'm so sorry. I just have to do it because it's there. And
I want to know.
I know. I want to know. You know what I need is a 90s dance party.
What?
I want to have a 90s dance party.
Why 90s?
Because I was too young to party in the 90s, but I know the songs like What Is Love? And I want to go to a party where it's like fucking 90s. I saw a TikTok where this dad was like dropping his kids off at like a 90s dance party, and he was like, I know all these songs, and I was like, fuck, I really want to go to that kind of party.
That sounds fun.
We're so close. We're so close. KR, where's Brad? Where did Brad said it? Well, fucker. No. I went too far. This is so interesting, you guys. Yeah, you really did get yelled at about the dig deep.
Yeah, I told you.
You really did. Carendil.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Brad.
There's no way this just happened.
Brad, why did you do this to me, Brad? Hey guys, thank you so much. He did it.
Oh my god.
Her name's Aari. And not Elendil. I'm so sorry, Brad.
What are we doing here?
I think I'm dyslexic.
There's no way. Now, I don't know if Jessica's going to edit out all her wheel scrolling that I heard through the microphone. But
I can't edit that out. This is integral to the show.
Oh my god. Everyone just stop listening to us. All the goodwill we've gotten over these past 5 episodes, and people saying how much they love our nuanced perspective and how we're not just rage baiting, and everybody was just like, you know what? I'm going back to Geeks and Gamers. This show's too woke for me. Fuck you guys.
Carendil. Brad, it's not you we're roasting, it's me.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
Just the look of utter disappointment when she's like, no, it doesn't make sense. Will live in my head rent free for a long time.
Wow, I'm so glad. I'm so glad we could do this together. This is a gift I give to you. So we've got Carendil.
Yeah, get the train back on the tracks, please.
We got Carendil in the jail. Gerendils in the jail. Arian comes to talk to him, and it's a good scene. They love each other. They do love each other. She might not agree with how he's approaching it, but there's love, and it's beautiful.
There is. She does love him. She's just being manipulated. She's being blinded. We've seen plenty of our friends and family succumb to this in the last 8 years.
I think this is where 10 episodes helps us, so that we can see, when she says, he said you'd say that. And she brings Muriel, which is actually really cool. It was a good moment. But where is all the time that they spent together where he's manipulating her? Or
I want to see the conversation with her and Muriel to get her here.
Or where's the Farazan Carendil?
Yeah. And how did she fall this far down the rabbit hole so fast?
She didn't have TikTok or Instagram to look at those memes.
How did anybody get so, and that was the thing about Numenor, is that they didn't show us the highest highs. They showed us Elendil being kind of nice, but Muriel not being that welcoming. And then Halbrand get into a bar fight, and then a bunch of people being like, oh, elves are going to take our jobs. And then, it didn't have the heights to fall from. Yeah. I'm not getting the, oh my gosh, Farazan is creating this crazy cult full of fear-mongering, war-mongering people, and I don't know how we're going to beat this thing. And I needed that. I needed to know, wow, this is what we lost. This is what, we used to have. We used to be a country, and now Farazan has taken over, and it's all gone. And I wanted that, especially because it's Numenor. I want that.
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't really quite understand, if you haven't read the books, not the books, but the Silmarillion, what Numenor really is. And so this was your opportunity to really give us an awesome, ancestry for Aragorn. And you're doing it with Elendil. Really, you are. I like to this. And actually, too, they're just criminally underusing Elendil, too. He's just he is fucking so great. And we're just not seeing enough of him. But when he's on stage or on screen, he's just amazing.
He is. But that, it's not even to push back on you, but like you said, even the most layman of movie trilogy watchers only will recognize the name Elendil and Isildur and be like, oh, this is Aragorn's lineage. Yeah. And why are they all so lame? Yeah. Where's the Aragorns? And that's a fair criticism.
So let's just get a little bit forward, because I think what's going to happen is really dependent on what happens in this episode moving forward with Numenor. I really, really fucking hate how they played this out. Basically, they're like, you know what? Trial by the Valar. It's really dumb. I think Farazan was afraid to lose public opinion totally by just slaughtering Elendil. I kind of understand that.
Yeah, you don't want to make him a martyr.
And really, Karen is. We're just gonna call her Karen. Karen is trying to save her daddy too by going, well, maybe there's a chance he won't die, Yeah. So they're working through that. She brings Muriel to his prison, and she tries to convince him to not. I don't know, what is she trying to tell him to do?
She's trying to tell him to say Farazan is king, right? So he can lead the faithful through these hard times.
Right. Because again, she asked him to do this episode previously, and he didn't listen. Yeah. So that's cool. Good job. But he's, again, I when he says to Karen, if you don't know by now, then I've got nothing more to say to you.
Yeah, if all you see is pride in my actions, then we have nothing more to say.
And that is powerful. That's powerful. This actor's
so good.
He really is. Then they get to the trial, and they're calling the sea horn, and then Muriel shows up and says, I can stay in his stead. I could do this in his stead. It's so dumb when Karen and Grima are like, it is written. It is. It is known. It's so dumb that they're like, yeah, no, he can't. She can't do that. Like they fucking know the entire. These people hate the Valar and the elves, and they know the entire book. That's ridiculous.
Well, he's got the book in front of him.
I know, but read it. Look for it then, bro. It's just so silly that like, we don't have time. She could do that though.
Well, I mean,
I thought that was silly.
I'm not saying it's not silly, and this is where like having your little Grima Wormtongue-esque character, like, I'm not saying we need more time with him, but I need to know like where his head's at, besides like just repeating what Pharazôn says.
Like, why wouldn't he be like, no, you can't, you know, like that is wrong or whatever. Like he must pay for his, like have him double down here, and Karen be like, no, it actually is written that way. You know? Yeah,
someone else need to have said, like, oh, no, this is what the faithful have said, or this is what the Valar have judged, or something like that. And that part didn't bother me, but the fact that, you know, she gets pulled under by the sea serpent, very scary. And
it's good. That worked well.
And then Pharazôn, oh, the Valar have deemed you, and then she gets spit out, like, at the perfect time. Innocent!
It's just cheese, Bob. So now that she is innocent, I think that what we're going to see is, I hope in the next season, we'll see a little bit more of what is really happening in Numenor.
This is what I'm hoping, is that, you know, we complain that we didn't get much scheming behind the scenes and stuff like that.
Is that something? Kemen is his name. Kemen is the son's name.
Is it really?
I believe so.
Nah, he doesn't get a name.
Okay, fuck that guy.
Well, and that's what... Did he have his arm in a sling? I couldn't tell.
He did, yes.
Okay.
Because he's a little bitch, and he had a little fucking...
Little bitch.
Fucking asshole.
Let's do it. Bitch.
What a piece of fucking...
Bitch.
You've done that to somebody. It's scary.
Bitch.
Yeah, fuck.
Get in that locker, nerd. We didn't even have lockers in my high school.
You didn't?
We didn't.
Weird.
Yeah.
So I have back problems now.
That's right. But like, this is where I hope that, okay, we got past the Pharazôn, Muriel. Okay, now what are you gonna do, Pharazôn?
Right.
We see in the Palantir that like he sees Halbrand. So does he know that Halbrand is Sauron? I don't know. But now we need to see Pharazôn's scheme, because all he's done this season is call his son stupid and like stand in front of an eagle. Like,
so what probably will happen now is what happens in the book, which is he'll try to marry Muriel.
Yes, and I want to see that, how he does that.
Yep.
And I hope it's something smart and clever and not just like,
hey, you said you wanted romance.
Yeah. Make it happen.
Cousin
Show me
cousin.
the Riz king, okay? You're not the king of Numenor. Are you the king of Riz, baby? Pharazôn. Thank you very much.
But we had a lot of missteps to get here today. we had a long journey.
We were forged in the fire, okay?
And Pharazôn was born amazing.
And going back real quick.
Yeah.
You said that it is almost guaranteed that stranger is Gandalf. Is the Gandalf. Because he is learning to wield the secret fire, which is what he says when he fights the Balrog.
I didn't see that. I didn't say that, but that's a good nod. That's a nod that works for me.
Yes, like, because
my most recent watch of the Lord of the Rings movies, I was like, God, what is the secret fire? It's kind of cool that there's like something he's talking about that we actually don't know, but that's scary to the Balrog, you know, or that's meant to intimidate the Balrog. Here comes the Balrog. We have to show you that video.
Okay.
Everyone press pause. Go look for the grandma going, here comes the Balrog. Yeah, I thought that's how you do it. Let him be the keeper of the secret flame. Don't tell us, can you give it to them? I'm doing my best with a line that was already read by Ian McKellen.
Yeah, it's not great.
Now,
that's all we got for Numenor. I'm wondering, do you think I know we'll see Numenor before like the season ends?
Yeah.
Or do you think what do you think is gonna close out Numenor for this season?
It's a really
because
great
I feel
question.
like a lot of where this episode ends, I feel like a majority of our time is going to be spent in Eregion.
Well, we have to see
for battle reasons.
Totally. I think we have to see what shakes out now. I don't have a hit as to what it is, but hit is an improv term, by the way. I don't have an idea as to what it is, but we have to see a reckoning between Pharazôn and Muriel. Does he start the Riz now? Do we see her become queen? So we have to see something like that, and then there's what?
Yes,
okay,
and
shut up and fuck you. I'm so improv right now. I'm so in it.
I'm so in the zone, man.
I'm so but
give me a place. Give me a
if
place.
If I really was, I wouldn't be shutting you down with your yes and. I was gonna say maybe we'll get like them actually kissing, but I think Elendil is hurt by what Muriel did. I think he's hurt by that choice. So I think we're gonna have to see what happens between them.
Mm-hmm.
And what her choice to take his place meant. And I'm sure he's grateful that she survived, but I don't think he would have wanted her to take his place. So we'll see what happens there, and we have to see what Pharazôn is planning now, and probably that is finding out how to get on Muriel's good side. What do you think?
I think so, and that's the thing is that this doesn't feel like a finale type beat. But I am curious because there is so much happening in the other storylines of what we're going to get here. Yeah. But
yeah,
I'm curious. I want to know. I am curious. I like the Numenor stuff. I wish we got a little bit more grandeur in our Numenor of what this place was meant to be. But I'm still here for it. So I'm very curious, and I'm more than positive about what's going to happen.
I think we have good things ahead. I feel like they must have felt like they had to just get through this part of the season or the story so that they can make it about Numenor next season.
Yeah, I think season 3 is going to be very heavy in Numenor for sure.
Really, and you know what? If they do a good job, it'll be excellent.
Yeah.
If they don't only cast 16 fucking extras.
Bro, cast some extras.
It's unbelievable. So we now are in Eregion.
We're in Eregion.
Also in our Discord, it was mentioned that there was kind of you could kind of map dementia over what Celebrimbor is going through, and it is really sad. He's having a hard time.
He's losing it, man, and the actor is doing such a good job with this slow descent into madness while being gaslit constantly.
So sad.
And no one else sees it too. And it's just they're like, oh, we are worried about him, but we don't know what's going on. And it is very hard to watch. It is hard to see this happy-go-lucky elf in his, wonder years, just enjoying life, and we're gonna build a new tower in Eregion. That sounds good. I'll never be my grandfather, but I can leave this lasting legacy. And then just the absolute worst thing keeps happening to him. Someone shared that Simpsons meme where it's Bart's this is the worst day of my life, and it's Homer being the worst day of your life so far.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's one after another for this guy. And I said earlier in the episode, I shipped him. I loved it. It was awesome to watch. And now it's just really painful. Not in a I can't watch it way, but in a they're really doing their job with the Eregion way.
They're doing a really, really good job. This is such a strength of this show has been these two actors just giving us the good stuff over and over every scene they've got together. And even like even in the smallest ways of just like, oh, I even thought my hammer was right there. What, that hammer? And it's there. And you're like, son of this motherfucker doesn't stop. Like, give this guy a break. I'm begging you. And he just doesn't. And like, he can't remember
Merdania's name. I couldn't either. I couldn't either.
I was like,
it
is
to
it
myself
Merdania?
right now.
Okay.
I think so.
It is. That was a good pull. Merdania's name, and then he kind of like keeps him in the tower. He's like, okay, and the fact that he gets to play good cop too, when he's like, we need more Mithril. You guys aren't doing your job. And then Anatar comes in. He's like, why doesn't everybody take a break? And you're like, thanks, Anatar. Fuck you, man.
You did it perfectly, where you have like the shitty boss, and then you have the other boss. It's like, all right, guys, he's just really stressed. You said it perfectly, and he really is doing that. And almost Celebrimbor is grateful, that he feels like he's got his back, kind of.
He does,
and
it's
poor Celebrimbor. It hurts so much, dude.
It does. It hurts. It hurts a lot.
Hurts.
And like him basically taking over Eregion, being like, hey, you stay here, take a rest. I'll go handle the affairs of whatever Eregion needs. They find an elf body with runes on it that says, where is he? It says, bury him and don't tell anybody about this. It's just like,
what do you think his motivation is for telling Merdania what the Black Speech says?
I don't know.
He's manipulating her. Let's remember he told her that Celebrimbor was him, that she saw in the light realm, and that Celebrimbor's like losing it. And then where is he? Is he playing her to make her think that they're talking about Celebrimbor?
I don't know. I think this one is kind of like a more for the audience than for her. But also, I just think that he's like, she's never going to figure it out, so it doesn't really matter.
Totally. Because he throws her back so casually. He's like, I'm not worried about telling you. You're of
no consequence.
Oh, poor girl.
I know.
I was her.
A little cutie.
I've been here. I've been there. I feel sad for every girl in her 20s. I really do.
But I just love all the stuff that they go through in this episode. And then what happens next? Where
I guess kind of what's going on with Adar and Galadriel sort of relates.
I was gonna
what's
put that towards
here.
the end.
I think it's both, but yes, because it's an unlikely pairing, and that scene frustrated me because they basically split it up into two scenes when in reality it could have just been like a good drag out fight. And
yeah, like he like chains her up and then leaves, and
she comes back and he comes back and she's like, okay, fine, he's Halbrand.
Yeah,
it's Sauron. I had a question, like, how did he fucking figure it out?
I don't know, and if that doesn't work for me,
yeah.
Maybe in the fact that, like, well, she tells him.
Yes, but he says, I believe Halbrand is Sauron, or whatever. Like, he said it.
Does he say it? Okay.
Yes. And
that makes no sense, because then he could have killed him. He did send a
spy after. No. That's where I'm frustrated, is he let him go way too soon.
Too soon.
To find out. And if he thinks, like, go send a scout to Eregion if they give this guy any credence. You have a fucking prisoner.
Yeah.
In the king, quote unquote, of the Southlands. Don't let that guy go. He's not an emissary for you.
Yeah.
Like, he's not to be trusted. But Adar did send a scout after him, so maybe they found out that way, but that's wild.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that they've done such a good job with the rest of Anatar and Sauron and Halbrand's deception of just like how he's deceiving people, how he's getting the best of people, playing on their fears and like wants and stuff like that. And then even to where he does mess up one time with Durin, and Durin kind of calls him on his BS.
Right.
But in those opening episodes, how he gets out of Mordor, like didn't make sense to me at the time, where he's like, let my people go, I'll go to Eregion and find Sauron for you. And it's just like, Why? What do you... What?
I'm wondering now...
What's the plan again?
I'm wondering now if Sauron didn't want Adar to find out it's him. Because Galadriel puts together at the end of the episode, when she finally calls Adar Uruk and will work together potentially, that Sauron wanted the armies to be brought to him.
I did like that. I like that moment where you think Galadriel's being headstrong and prideful and stupid again, and right before it's a little late because she kind of gave away the plot.
She's so dumb.
She's pretty dumb, and it's very frustrating. It's like I know we have to, I know this is baby Galadriel and she's got to learn, but she's eventually has to learn. Yeah. Can she learn?
Yeah.
Can she is it going to be all 5 seasons of her just making the same mistakes until she finally becomes Cate Blanchett? Because that's really fucking boring.
Yeah, totally. She has to have some ability to make a fucking quick decision.
Yeah. And figure out hey, this orc that's been nothing but trouble and has already fooled me one time when we had him chained up and his army was defeated. He's up to something, but I don't know what it is. But maybe we shouldn't trust him. But she doesn't do that, and that's unfortunate. But right before they are about to one to twin powers collaborate, she's like, "Oh, I think Sauron's doing this, and he wants you to attack Eregion and basically do his dirty work for him of killing this elf kingdom." And I'm like, thank God you did this. And now Adar is the one being too prideful and too stubborn to be like, no, we have to defeat Sauron. He's in there, and we're gonna take this kingdom. Cat.
I think that he said it. Once he's in your mind and he knows what you want, then it's over. Yeah. And so I think it's too late for Adar. Even though he thinks he's doing the right thing, he's doing the wrong thing. And so
that's another thing that I wish that we I know the internet, got set ablaze with the orc family, but the lead orc that we've seen a bunch made a good point where he's like, what does Sauron matter? We've got Mordor. We're good, fam.
Yeah.
We've got a place to hang out. True. We've got our home. You're our leader. We're good. And I wish we would have gotten we had the 2 deserters that Arondir killed, where they're not feeling it. Give me more orc descent. If you want to make these people not just black and white evil, you want to give them some nuance and some character, show me that.
Yeah.
Show me the orcs kind of whispering what are we doing here? We keep dying.
We get plenty of fun orc interchanges during the movies.
Yeah. We ain't had nothing but Maggie bread for 3 stinking days.
We get it. And so you have some amazing actors
I want
here.
Some meat.
It's back on the menu, boys.
I've never read a menu in my life, but it's back on it.
And here's the other one that gets me is when Gimli's sitting on the orc and he's talking, it's better eaten its nervous system.
Yes.
You know what that is?
Wow. Impressive.
Sure. But they finally attack Eregion. And Celebrimbor is hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
And Sauron's losing his grasp.
Yeah, he's straight up threatening him. He goes a little too far where he's if you leave, every soul on this plane of existence and the next will die and it'll be your fault. I'm like, okay, dude. Okay.
It's like a girlfriend going if you leave, you can never come back. And don't. Did you ever see the TikTok or the Instagram where it's if you walk out that door, you can't come back, and the guy does a somersault out the door. Yeah. So Celebrimbor leaves. And Sauron does something that he did in the Hobbit movies, which was cast a deception spell to hide and obscure.
Rolled a 20 on this deception, too.
He really fucking... It took a toll out of him. I don't know if you noticed. He was like, oh God, I don't know if I can do it in time. Oh God. And then he did it. And it is awful.
It's this is the moment of this season for me, because everything has just been kind of oh, wordplay, oh, deception, oh, we kind of did this, and a little sleight of hand. This is straight up magic, and I'm here for it. I'm here for just like evil sorcery. And that's what this was. And I didn't know, like, he, like, you know, you see him, like you said, like, kind of, like, focus. I'm like, what's he doing? How is he going to stop this?
Yeah.
And then it's blissful. The birds are chirping. Kites are being flown. There's artists in the square. And nope.
And this was good, too, because Mauritania said, I thought when they find the body of the dead elf, they were saying that, like, normally this is a thrum with artisans and traders, and there hasn't been anybody for 3 days, which is the first sign that there's an issue. And so we're seeing those people here. And as Celebrimbor went to go open the door, the whole time I was going, oh, no, poor guy, no, because I just needed him to see it. I just needed him. And so they're just, this is like the nums. They're giving us nums in this, and I just feel so bad for Celebrimbor, and he's doing such a good job of manipulating him in this moment, and he's telling him the truth, which is really interesting. The Silmarils will be pale in comparison, and the rings will be talked about.
Yes.
And he's basically saying in a little meta way, everyone knows the Lord of the Rings. A lot of people don't know the Silmarils and what that's about.
It's true. It's such a good scene to like go to not just depend on like the delusion of what he's presenting to Celebrimbor, to like add on top of like, oh yeah, and the things you're making are much more important. And they almost fucking derail one of the best scenes of this season by saying the word precious. Stop it. Stop doing what you're doing.
I know.
I don't, like, nobody needs this.
No.
You're not doing anyone any favors besides reminding other people of different works that they might like better than this. Like, stop it.
Listen, I think they really are trying to make this something that you watch as you lead up to your rewatch every year. They really are trying to make it hand in hand, but it's too heavy-handed. It really is. And yeah, that precious moment almost went over my head, and Alex caught it, and I was like, oh, fuck, come on. Let it go.
Because they say it, we're going to get to the dwarves. He says it to King Durin, where he's like, oh, I could give you timber.
About the dwarves. Jesus.
Yeah, we'll get to it, don't worry. I can give you timber, or if you desire something more precious. Yeah. And I'm like, they just say it as a word in that one, and I was like, okay, I'll allow it.
That.
And then he uses like the fact that he does like the big long pause. I was like, oh, precious. Oh my god, I get that Gollum used this fucking word. I don't need to be reminded of it every time. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I know
it's gonna be all in the Gollum movie too. It's gonna be.
It's so frustrating. Like we have given you the benefit of the doubt of like all your reimaginings, all your reinterpretations of the lore and everything. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
We're here for it. Be your own thing then. Stop referencing the other works. No one wants that.
Yeah.
Be your own, right. Stand on your own 2 feet. I'm good with like a reference here or there. You know, like, at the end of the last season, like, always follow your nose or something like that.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Especially
when
we had no
idea who this fucking guy was.
Yeah. And yes. You're like, oh, he might be Gandalf. Okay, that makes sense. But like now every other episode, there's just like a line straight from the movies. And I'm just like, oh, man, it's so frustrating.
God, I forgot about the dwarves because I really wanted to end on the Siege of Eregion, but let's just say that the transition from day to night, once he's finally officially like gotten Celebrimbor to go back indoors, is harrowing. And they fucking did some big falls. Like there was a couple of elves that like took big falls, and this is
all in one shot. It happened in real time.
It was
too.
really
like
amazing
thing.
It's really amazing. And this was my only complaint, is that this is the first time we're seeing the size of Eregion. It's a realm. It's not just like, oh, this is where they do it's fucking huge. This is a huge loss.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that like when he goes to the balcony and does like his composer thing, like, okay, now what I've done is about to happen. I think he's on the edge of the river, and it's right there. No, we go through like the entire city. I'm like, this is a mistake. This is like, you shouldn't have shown me the entire city of Eregion and then get to the army. Because all I've seen is like the tower, the inside of the tower, and maybe this courtyard.
The volume can only do so much. The volume gave us the great day to night shots, but we just aren't seeing how badly Sauron is going to destroy what is so beautiful and precious. It's just that's just you've driven that home for me, and this was a really good example because I'm like, oh wait, Eregion's that big? Fuck you.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know or care?
Like, we don't get much, if you guys want to reference the movie so much in the show, I'll reference the movies in the review of the show, where it's like, the best thing they did about Minas Tirith was having Gandalf write up all 7 fucking floors and show it.
That's exactly right.
He rides up, like, it only takes like an extra 25 seconds. Like, that's good filmmaking of just like, going up,
yes,
and now we're at the top, and you show, and that big overhead shot of the courtyard with the tree and everything. Oh my gosh, we're at the top of this amazing city. Holy crap. That's how you do it. We
got a pretty nice overview of Numenor this episode.
I did see that. That was
pretty
good. That was
nice.
a good shot.
I
love the Dutch angles of the Galadriel Adar conversation too.
It works when you don't do it too
angle.
much. Yeah, if you don't do it too much, it works, and it did work because there was no equilibrium between them. So when you do it, it worked, and it works. It helped the scene for sure. We do have the Khazad Dûm stuff where there's not a mithril. Celebrimbor doesn't have mithril. And they send, or Halbrand decides to go to get the mithril. And Durin the Younger is pleased when the father denies the request. And then learns that it's not for the reason he thinks. He's trying to play the long game, the long con.
And this is where we still haven't seen mithril.
I think we're just not seeing it, but we're meant to understand that they've been mining it, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy.
That's bad.
Yeah,
that's not,
I agree.
Because they literally have a scene. Like I think you were right last week when he's pointing out all the shafts to reopen and all the mining going on, and you're like, I think those are gold mines. And I was like, no, I think they're doing the mithril, and then they pouring gold. It's the weirdest cut because they come into the throne room with like barrels
of gold,
wheelbarrows full of gold, dump it at Durin's feet, and then the next scene it's all gone. I'm like, wait, what? It was very strange editing. And right there, instead of doing gold, either you make it seem like these are tributes from the other dwarven kingdoms to get the ring, or taxes that we're doing the 100% taxing of the people. Yes, we weren't sure
what it was from or why all that gold was there.
Also, if you're mining gold, you don't mine gold coins. You schmelt them, and I was losing my mind in that scene. I'm like,
is it like when you smear a bagel?
Yes, you smear mithril.
Fantastic.
Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, are they saying that like this is how the gold is coming out of the mountain? What is happening right now?
I think because it was schmelted, then that means it's coming from the lords. I think that is what that means. It's so
poorly communicated.
I understand.
Also, you are a mithril fucking mine for the. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my shit on this show.
They had all of it. They had all of it. It's just that mithril also existed here. Those gold existed in Khazad Dûm.
Are you sure?
No, but I'm just saying. It also could have existed there.
Okay.
And that there was also mithril.
I'll allow it. But you know what else existed there that we have not seen them mine once?
It's mithril.
Once! It is the key to everything that you have made.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And then suddenly, like, after Durin the Elder says no to Anatar, he's got, like, this powdered mithril that he's probably put his blood into it when he cut his...
What happened?
I don't know.
That?
I don't understand. I love the dwarves. I love the dwarves. Why are you so afraid of actually showing them take mithril from the fucking ground and showing it to me on screen? Show it to me.
Yeah, it's so strange. I couldn't agree with you more. It's so
Jessica,
weird.
we have not seen them mine a piece of mithril.
Not
the piece from season 1, Durin just had it, and they brought it, and then the piece that Disa and Durin the Younger gives them this season, they just had it. And then Anatar just has mithril dust. We haven't seen them mine a fucking speck of the most important ore that this show has told us to just pay reverence to, that is the key to everything.
Do you want to just quit watching now?
I think I'm done. It's just, you're the one telling me mithril matters this much.
Right.
You guys are. I'm not saying it.
Right.
I like Bilbo's shirt. That's a cool little piece of armor. Mithril was a cool little, light as a feather, but as hard as dragon scales.
Right.
That's great. I'm all for that fantasy shit. Absolutely. But don't tell me it is literally the key to saving the elves on the face of the planet, and you're never gonna, and it's gonna be in the 3 rings, it's gonna be in the 7 rings, and it's gonna be in the 9 rings, and you're never gonna be hit with a fucking pickaxe? Come on!
I mean, we did see some mining, but it's not mithril. It just looks like they're hitting stone.
And that's the thing, is that,
you know what I mean?
Just show me the veins. Like the big scene from the Fellowship where Gandalf, a little bit more light, and you see the veins.
Gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, it's just right there. And so he's like, oh, well, we're going to mine for more mithril, and there's going to be weapons and, armor, and we're going to be, literally like war profiteers. It's like, again, just every style of corruption that this ring is giving Durin.
Yes, that's exactly right.
It's becoming comedic at this point, honestly.
And the worst part about it is that they even say in the poem that, even in the beginning of the Lord of the Rings movie, the dwarves were hardy against the corruption. For this to have happened to him,
he's gone, dude. He's faded.
It shouldn't be. There's no reason not a lot of, anyway.
And this thing is, I like the scene between the father and the son where he's like, oh, the ring belongs to me. He's like, no, you belong to it. Great line.
It's very good. Prove me otherwise. He doesn't. He pushes Durin across the fucking hall. It's great. It's sad. And then we get the best couple that exists ever deciding to take matters into their own hands.
Okay, so why? Okay, I know Durin wanted the mithril. And then Durin wanted the mithril for regular reasons. And then Elrond's like, hey, this mithril could help us. And he's like, okay, I've got a better reason to mine the mithril.
Right.
Why does he not want to mine it now?
Because Anatar wants it.
But his dad said no to Anatar. Is he saying that, he doesn't want to be, a war profiteer?
No,
an arms dealer?
So, hold on. He says no to Anatar, but he's still mining it so that when Anatar comes back, he has more of a hand to play. Like you said, war profiteering.
Okay.
And also, last episode, Durin the Younger comes in and goes, Dad, there's a scary beast that's going to, so we can't go any further. And that shot that everyone speculated when Sauron looks in the flame and sees the little baby Balrog.
I want it. I want that toy. Remember, I was listening to a podcast about Empire Strikes Back, and kids these days don't realize there's a Star Wars toy for every fucking scene in that original trilogy.
Wow.
Every conceivable, and that's where George Lucas made all of his money. He self-financed Empire Strikes Back. It's the most expensive independent movie ever made.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he self-financed. He's like, I have all my toy money. I don't need a studio to tell me what to do.
Wow.
Boss move. But it's just I want that. I want the little baby Balrog that pokes out of a torch, and I want to put it on my wall right here.
Like a little guy. Just a little baby guy. It's just a very funny, weird thing. It's don't worry, you guys, there's a Balrog.
Yeah, a lot of these trailer moments have just been okay, so they're just trailer moments.
They really are. I think that's exactly right, that they just built the trailer around that. That's 100% what happened. Durin gets pushed. Disa and Durin, the baby, decide to take matters into their own hands. She stone sings bats at Narvi. You didn't like that? You didn't like that moment?
I love Disa. She's great. This is the dumbest fucking thing.
I will say,
in the history of the show.
I thought she is so hot. She is such a badass. She is fucking killing it. It's just really silly. She's got to feel silly in these moments where she's like ah! And she's doing the Dune song.
Well, like, it reminded me, this is such a specific reference. You know, we talked about Thor Ragnarok, and, the Immigrant song by Led Zeppelin. And there's a moment, and I think it's like the third Shrek. It's like the third Shrek where like all the princesses sing and all the birds and stuff attack all the evil characters.
Okay, I sort of remember this, yes.
And they goes into the Immigrant song,
Oh, yes.
And that's what it reminded me of. I'm like, you can't remind me of Shrek 3 while I'm watching Lord of the Rings.
Yes, you can. They did.
Yeah, apparently they can.
That's
I was wrong. I was wrong again. And it just like, man, it's extra tough because like if Poppy or Nori did something like this, you know what? Okay, you know, I'm already whatever. But this is Disa and Durin. It's like my favorite storyline, and you're gonna do this? Like, again, we just saw Sauron like mystical, magical mystery tour his fucking way around Celebrimbor with like the illusion of all illusions, like David Blaine over here. But like, I'm there
do
for
the Chris Angel.
He did do the Chris Angel. He went full mind freak on him, dude.
You really did.
You're freaking my mind, Chris Angel. But this was a Bridge of Khazad-dûm too far. Dude, I'm on fire today.
You actually are. I think I resigned today between Carendial. What's wrong with me? Kill me. I'm with you. I don't know. They really are underserving us some dwarf. Apparently, next episode, Elrond will be back with Durin, which is just also criminal that they kept us from the best part of the first season. You've waited 7 episodes to give us those two back on screen together. It's actually upsetting when I think about it. I'm looking forward to it, though.
Yeah.
And overall, Ben, I'm enjoying this so much. It's just not without its, like,
yeah. I think
moments.
overall our review has been positive, but just, like, the show keeps shooting itself in the foot with all of its movie references. And then it just, like, luckily, Disa and Durin have gotten, like, they've earned a little bit of leeway that I can forgive singing to the bats.
You know what? I
with
can't blame Sophia, I believe is the actress's name. She commits, man.
Yeah, she's going all in. She didn't write the script. I'm not blaming her at all. It's a silly moment that I was just like, oh, okay. And it also felt like a moment from, like, Goonies, where they're like, oh, we'll be ready for them. Like, or like Home Alone. I
thought you haven't seen Goonies.
I haven't seen Goonies. But it felt like a kid moment of like, oh, we'll be ready for the robbers when they come back and invade our home. It's like, okay. Like, okay. I don't know. It didn't, it sucked that was like the last scene of the dwarves for this episode.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the stuff was great. The rest of the stuff was great.
It is good. I don't know. Would you have the bats come attack them and give them rabies? Or if she's a stone singer, could she have caused a little avalanche to
That's
separate
what I thought
them?
that she was going to do. Is that she was going to block the passage and, like, stall for time.
And you know, granted, they are dwarves. They have a ramming thing there. So maybe she really did have to get rid of them in a different way. But I don't know. They're trying to do their best in the face of, like, unprecedented times, too. So
10 episodes.
Really and truly. You're so right. It's the best criticism you've ever had in your life. Don't stop. This was your episode, by the way. This really was you.
But it's like, and I'm not saying that I will say it actually. I don't mind saying it. I'm a little thirsty for action now. And so, like, you've been promising this, like, 3-episode battle. Now it's 2 episodes. Because, I'm sorry, the final shot of 1 episode does not count as an episode of battle. So, if you're telling me that Durin and Elrond get together, so that means Elrond makes another stop at Khazad-dûm before he gets to Eregion?
Well, because I think also the person who's just dropped off the face of the earth is Gil-galad. isn't sending anyone to Eregion.
Okay.
So I think he goes to the dwarves to ask for their help because he's got nothing to help him protect Eregion.
So this next episode is going to be Eregion getting their asses kicked. I don't know what Galadriel's going to be doing, and then probably the finale is when maybe the end of next episode, Elrond's going to show up
with
with
still
the army.
lose.
Yeah.
Overall, great episode. Overall, still looking forward to what's going to happen. I think we are going to get some great action. I will say, the end of the episode with the fireballs that we knew were coming because of the trailer. It was scary and it was incredible because I was thinking about, like, in this time, you don't see shit like that. Granted, we also don't. We're very fortunate. We don't see fireballs.
Right.
But, like, if you're on the front of that war, that is fucking wild shit. It's wild. So I thought that was really cool, really well done. It built they finally ended the episode strong, where they've been kind of off before up to this point. So they really did a good job. We want to know what y'all think. We also want to thank you guys for your positivity and appreciating what we're trying to do here. We've gotten a couple tweets from you guys, which really does help us so much. If you see a tweet from us, retweet it. If you want to tell your friends and followers that you enjoy us, that really means the world to us. There's so many different ways you can get in contact or support our show. You can join our Patreon for free and just watch us be weird little goons over there at patreon.com/podcast of the rings. If they're watching on YouTube, what should our friends be doing, Ben?
Make sure you guys leave a comment, leave a like on YouTube. We've really enjoyed and it's a very rare thing when people say they can enjoy YouTube comments, but we really have.
We really do. And we get a lot of good conversations out of them.
We get a lot of good feedback. And also on Patreon, guys, we are back doing our Game of Thrones podcast. We just got done with episode 2. Episode 3 will be coming out soon. We're doing that weekly. I'm really loving watching these series back to back and diving back into Game of Thrones as well. So make sure you guys sign up, patreon.com/podcast of the rings.
There's so much fun content from Ben and Jess, your favorite podcasters.
Your favorite podcasters.
You just talk to you like you're in the room.
Just talk to you like this.
Hey, did you see that thing the other day?
It's really fun. It's really good time.
Kamala Harris 2020. Until next time, Ben.
2020.
What did I say? 2020?
Yeah, vote for
dude,
2020.
I lost 4 years, dude. I really did. I really did.
May our paths meet again, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.